All right. Hey, hello, everybody. Thank you, and fuck you. Welcome to Hangar 18, episode number 31. And I'm, as of course, your big, giant, blue, stabby-faced alien from another planet, Thundercracker. I guess I should probably at some point get around to changing my picture back to Thundercracker instead of the
Probably
Cobra,
so.
instead of the Cobra Trooper there. But with me, as always, is the great Southern buzzkill, the Spock to my Kirk, this panty dropper baritone, Dreadwind.
Hello.
For the next, I don't know, fucking 45 minutes or so. Man, you kind of like brought us down on that. I was like trying to set you up for greatness, and you're like, how's it going? So, yeah. All right, so the next 45 minutes to an hour or so, we're going to be talking to you, educating you about heavy metal, and all for the whole 3 listeners that we have.
Yeah. For the record, who picked this list of songs again?
It was me. Hey, you know what? I was trying to go with a theme, and it's hard. Like when you're trying to do a theme, I noticed like when you did your animated video theme, like about 6 songs in, you're like, fuck it, I'll just pick random shit now.
Yeah.
I can't find any more animated videos. So at least my theme is like entirely through the thing.
Yeah. You should have gone with 5-letter words though, because it's Cinco de Mayo.
Oh, that's a good point. I didn't think about that. I guess I'm not very culturally appropriative. But you know what? Speaking of cultural appropriation, if you ever say that somebody's cult, just fuck you. I mean, Jesus Christ. First off, if you've ever used math, if you've ever drank a beer, if you've ever ate food, if you've ever watched a movie, if you've ever listened to music, if you've ever lived in a house, if you've ever lived in a neighborhood, if you've ever driven a car, if you ever listened to the radio, you fucking culturally appropriated something. So you know what? Fuck off. That's so fucking guilt-ridden bullshit. All right, I get off that fucking soapbox there.
I'm with you, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's just dumb, in my opinion. All right, so speaking of dumb shit, we're going to go ahead and go with our heavy metal news segment, which is always the first segment we do. I'll go ahead and do it. Hangar 18 News.
Nice.
I had to cheer you up.
We need a sound clip or something for that, right?
I know, definitely. Like either that or the P-Cells baseline. All right, so my first bit of news is also a bit of like identity politics bullshit, okay? And I was looking at metalsucks.net, which they're kind of hit or miss for me. Sometimes they have pretty good articles and sometimes, not so much. But I was looking at their main page and I was looking at their articles, and like they had like this bullshit crying ass whiny stuff about the healthcare thing yesterday. And here's the thing, it's not even law yet. It has to go through the Senate still, so it's not like hammered out entirely already. Okay, but like all over the internet yesterday, I saw all the sky is falling. Oh my God, it's going to be the end of all mankind. Half of America is going to die, right? So in that vein, I saw this article. And it was called "GOP names song by classic hardcore band Fear as their new album," right? So then this is the article. This is no shit what they've printed in print on a fucking webpage. Quote, earlier today, House Republicans finally took steps to stop President Obama's horrifying death panels and forced contributions to the well-being of Americans not smart enough to get a good job and decent health care. Jesus Christ, could you be any more left-wing whining than that? They passed a bill to repeal and replace substantial portions of Obamacare, cleverly called the Affordable Care Act, in hopes that unsuspecting non-Fox viewers will assume it's a good thing. They further go on to say, in bitchy, whiny, fucking tantrum bitch with a skinny fashion, of course the bill has to pass the Senate, but nonetheless, this is a huge step towards making America great again. GOP are celebrating, and deservedly so. In addition to enjoying some cold beers, Republicans decided to announce, this is where it gets really fucking whiny. Republicans decided to announce today their party's new anthem, I Don't Care About You, by the seminal LA hardcore band Fear. Commented Speaker of the House and noted unironic Rage Against the Machine fan Paul Ryan, I cannot think of a song that espouses the values of the GOP better than this classic. Neither can we, Mr. Ryan. Neither can we. Here's the thing about that. People are going to your web page to learn about heavy metal, not to hear about your fucking politics. And I understand it was kind of tongue-in-cheek and a spoof, but nobody wants to hear that. That's like Playboy now is beginning to be nothing but like left-wing drivel. Cracked is nothing but left-wing drivel. George Takei is nothing but left-wing dribble. I've not seen any like it's not like, I don't know, Ford Motor Company came out and just like went totally Republican. You know, I've never seen like
I can't, you know, I stopped following George Takei because it was nothing but far left political posts every single time he posts. I mean, I can't remember the last time he posted something that wasn't political.
No, I still followed him for a while, and I got to say it's probably about 1 in 20 is not a whiny Trump bashing hit piece. So I mean, people are entitled to their opinion, but my point is, it's like if you go to Taco Bell, you don't expect to like somebody serve you like, I don't know, fucking escargot. So my point is, if you go to cracked.com, you go there to expect funny articles, you know, or if you go to Metal Sucks, you expect an article about metal. Right. You know, or if you go to George Takei like he used to, you expect, and he's a private citizen, he's entitled to his opinions, but like, don't just like, and the whole thing started as soon as Trump got elected. So basically, to me, it's a big tantrum. So anyway, that's my opinion.
Yeah. It actually started before he got elected with Takei.
Oh, when he started campaigning.
The whole campaign, he was doing that. But I agree. I mean, all these news outlets, even regular news that does report, like their job is to report on that stuff. Your job is to report a non-biased fact article, know, about the facts from a non-biased point of view that the reader can read, get the information from, and then formulate their own opinion from there.
And even like some of these places that claim to be non-biased, you could just look on their face and tell how they feel about certain things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just like whenever they talk about Trump, it looks like they just fucking swallowed a giant hippopotamus turd. You know?
I can't stand it, but I'm with you too. Though, like, you know, a place like Metal News or something like that, and the site's supposed to be about heavy metal. There's absolutely no reason for a political post like that.
Right.
None.
Right. Unless like, I don't know, Tom Araya got elected governor of California, then maybe that I can see.
Yeah, well, I mean, even then, it's just like, hey, look, Tom Araya got elected governor of California.
Right. Just say that. Right.
But they would turn it into, you know, if, you know, oh, Tom Araya is Republican, racist, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
You know, is what they would end up turning it into. And it's like, really?
You're right. I think we might have gotten off on a bit of a tangent there. So let's go with your heavy metal news.
Okay, my less political news is, I'm sure, I don't know if, did we mention this already, that Zach has rejoined Ozzy?
We did.
Okay, I thought so. Zach has rejoined Ozzy. But also, Goat Whore is going to be having a new album come out titled Vengeful Ascension, and it will be released on June 23rd. So you can be on the lookout for that. It's got 10 tracks on it, and the track listing, the song titles are Forsaken, Under the Flesh, Into the Soul, the title track, Vengeful Ascension, Chaos Arcane, Where the Sun is Silent, Drowned in Grim Rebirth, Abandon Indoctrination, Mankind Will Have No Mercy, Decayed Omen Reborn, and Those Who Deny God's Will.
Damn. Those all sound
those
like
are the song titles.
Those sound all like pretty deep. It would be so awesome if they like had those like super deep philosophical type song titles, and like the songs just like totally just like simplistic, just like no message behind it, no metaphor type stuff. That would be awesome. I would love a band to just do that one. They just troll everybody.
It would be awesome, but I got a feeling there's some sort of a theme.
Oh, definitely.
There. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, fuck Antifa. But anyway, we're going on to our. I don't know where that came from. I just had to say it. But we're going on to our songs here. And yes, I picked the songs this week. And I tried to stay with a theme of 4-letter song titles. And that wasn't as easy as I thought it was going to be. Like the first 6 came to me like instantly. And then I had to like search pretty hard. And the search turned up some turds, let's just say. I was walking around in a field and I stepped in a few turds. But anyway, my first song is by Dreadwin's favorite band, 6 Feet Under. Formed in 1993 in Tampa, Florida, and the song is called "Ugly" from their 2003 album "Bringer of Blood."
Wait. This is a death metal band from Tampa, Florida?
It sure is. I know that's a shocker.
What?
It's almost like they have lots of death metal bands there. It's almost like a thrash metal band from the Bay Area.
Wow.
I know it's crazy, but it happens. Anyway, there's let's do it in my notes here. There's a great effect on the opening guitar. It almost sounds like you're listening to it through like a steel tunnel.
Mm-hmm.
In the opening guitar.
Yeah, it's called a flanger. Yeah.
Oh, look at me. It's technically called a flanger, you peasant. Oh. Okay. Anyway,
that's what I'm here for, man.
There's a flanger on the opening song. All right. Anyway, it's got great lyrics. Basically, they're saying, if you're a piece of shit, it doesn't matter how beautiful you are, because if you're ugly on the inside, you're ugly on the outside. There's a great effect on Barnes' voice in the breakdown. Excellent drumming throughout the entire song, which that's not really surprising, because if you're a death metal drummer, no matter how you feel about death metal vocals or death metal music, if you're playing drums on a death metal track, you have to be a pretty good drummer, because
you
played about 70. Yeah, you have to play about 75,000 miles per hour. There's a great outro with the repeated screams. I hear a scream. I hear a scream. All right, and I know Dredman.
Is that what you said? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait till you get to my notes, because yeah. Okay.
Anyway, 6 Feet Under has released 12 albums thus far, and they're listed by Nielsen SoundScan as the 4th best-selling death metal act in the United States, with album sales over 370,000 albums, which that's, to me, is surprising that it's that low, because they're a pretty good band. But then again, not like death metal is playing on the top 40 anymore. But anyway, I gave 6 Feet Under Ugly a 7.5. Dreadwing, go.
Yeah, like I mentioned, there's a flanger effect at the beginning of the song on the guitar. That was pretty cool. The music, I don't know what the deal was with the production, but the music was not. I expected better production out of them. It sounded like someone threw a wet towel over the speakers. Because it was just the vocals were clear, which was kind of surprising. But the music itself behind the vocals was just so subdued and kind of, I don't know, washed out or something. It was weird. I liked the music itself, though. It had a real good rhythm to it. I've gone over this over and over again. I'm not a big fan of his vocals.
Weak.
I didn't care for his high screams at all. His thing is his Cookie Monster singing, and that's what he did. So, but I don't know. It was okay. The only at the end, though, I don't know what he was singing at the end, but it sounded like he was saying, "Feel this ice cream."
Yeah, feel this. I hear screams. Come on, you fucker.
That is not what I got out of that. I was like, what the fuck is he singing about? Ice cream? What? Okay. And then all I could pick out was at the very end, he said, "Scream!"
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I just can't get into them. I'm sorry.
That's just why you failed.
6.5 for me.
6.5. Fuck.
Yeah.
I think you bring me down on that one. All right. On to our next band. Maybe something a little bit better for fucking crying ass Dreadwind.
No.
Pantera. Formed in Arlington, Texas in 1981.
Hey, I've heard of those guys.
Yeah, and like we were saying before, they weren't really Pantera for a while. And this song is called Rise, and it's off of Vulgar Display of Power, which is a album that everybody should own. I mean, just everybody should own.
Amazing.
And that song is right after fucking Hostile. So, like, as soon as I hear the end of fucking Hostile, I always expect that just to kick in, right? Amazingly fast and furious opening that shifts into 2 great tempo changes. I mean, they go from like one tempo to another, like right one after the other. Bing, bang, boom. And then he goes, "Oh, go! Din-in-it. There's actually a pretty poignant message underneath the lyrics where he's saying that there's like been this institution of being taught to hate each other, and like we should reject that. And that's pretty much what the song's about.
Kind of a theme on that album, actually.
Yeah, it definitely is. There's a great pounding chorus And I'm talking about that they were sitting around pounding each other. But I'm just saying the chorus is pretty like musically pounding. And I didn't know this, but I was looking up some weird facts for this to tell people, to educate people. And the band was originally called Gemini, and then they went to Eternity before landing on Pantera.
Huh.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
No, I didn't.
All right, so Pantera Rise, I give it 9.0 because it's fucking brilliant. Dreadwind.
I'm glad they changed their name because
Yeah, me too. Gemini does not sound very like badass. That's for sure.
Gemini. It sounds like wow, yeah. I guess if you had a female singer, it'd be okay.
Sounds like a horoscope symbol or whatever.
Something, or Gemini and the holograms, or
no, I like that. They're truly outrageous.
Yeah, you know what would be cool is if someone would go back and overdub, like, because what was the other band in that
Misfits
show was Misfits. If they'd actually put the Misfits songs in there, that'd be kind of cool.
Agreed.
Yeah. So Pantera is named after a car, is it not?
Yep, De Tomaso Pantera.
Yeah. So much better name. Okay. I don't know what else to say. That's why I'm kind of extrapolating here. It's got a blast of an opening. It speeds up. It's got a really grooving rhythm. It's just badass. Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome.
That right there.
You know, it's time to rise. This song, I mean, this is what you play in your car after you've had a long day of work and you've been pissed off at everybody and you just want to get the fuck home. This is the type of song you put on in your radio and you just crank it all the way up and jam to it, you know. And the guitar solo, holy hell.
Pretty good, huh?
That guitar solo, yes.
You got any flanging on that?
No flanging on that. He's just ripping it. I give this one a 9.0. All
right. Hey, symbiotic on that one. All right. Next song is by a Brazilian band formed in 1984, Sepultura. And this song is off of the Roots album from 1996. And this is called Spirit. And first off, the opening where they have that distortion on the guitar and then they do the bass, like right behind it, that's pretty fucking awesome. And then it just like fucking hits you like a firing squad. And my very favorite lyrics from this song is when he says, "Ask me no questions, tell no lies, ask me again, I spit in your eyes." I just love that. It's so angry, right? And then like basically like I love the libertarian type of lyrics because he's like, live your life, leave me alone, basically.
Yeah.
And there's a great use of pedals on the little guitar breakdown, and the speed part sounds angry as fuck. And just so you know, a little tidbit of fact for you: Sepultura has sold over 3 million albums in the United States and almost 20 million worldwide, and that's pretty impressive for a band that you never hear on the radio ever.
Yeah.
I mean, even Pantera gets much more radio play ever than Sepultura would ever dream about.
Even when heavy metal was like in, you know, when it was actually popular for a while and was actually on the radio, you still never heard Sepultura on the radio.
My first exposure to Sepultura was when I saw the video for Territory on Headbangers Ball. Anyway, I gave Sepultura Spit an 8.5. Dreadwind.
It's heavy. I like the little bass line breakdown around 2 minutes in. I don't have a lot of notes on it because it is a little repetitive. But I guess is my only knock on it. Along with they did some sort of strange effect on Max's voice during the chorus parts. Like during the verse parts. The chorus was normal. He would like sing the choruses normally, which was fine. But during the verse, they put some sort of weird effect on his voice, and it sounded just kind of weird to me. I didn't care for that. I don't know. You covered pretty much everything that I had written down already. So I give it I have 7.5 written down on this.
Damn, that's low for you for a Sepultura song.
I know it is. It's not my favorite off that album.
All right. You like Rada Mahana, don't you? I love
like roots. Bloody Roots. Yeah.
I'm a fan of Roots too, and also I also
Yeah.
like Radamana. I'm not gonna apologize. Fuck it. All right. So anyway, on and upwards and onwards to my favorite band, Slayer, and they're formed in Huntington Park, California, 1981. This is off the Christ Illusion album, 2006. It's called Cult. And first of all, my very first note is there's a very evil opening, right? Dun, 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 dun. And then they just like they up that and they just blast in with the guitars. And the bass follows the drumming very well in this song. And the guitar work is guttural as fuck. And then the tempo change kicks in with the guitar flourish and the drum loop. And I noticed that the song does not seem to be a fan of religion.
You noticed that, huh?
Yeah. My favorite part is when he's like, "I've made my choice, 666." I fucking love that, right? Because that's not. I mean, Tom Araya is not a Satanist, so. But he sells it, right? The first solo comes in and it's great. It's got some really like some lower notes to it. It's a really low tone solo, right? Like a lot of solos are like super high pitched. This one's like kind of low for a solo. And the second solo is also pretty good, but it's like kind of short. Mm-hmm. My notes, as far as like a tidbit of knowledge goes, is that Slayer has been accused of holding Nazi sympathies due to the band's eagle logo bearing resemblance to the eagle atop the swastika and the lyrics of Angel of Death. And no, Tom Araya is Chilean. They're not neo-Nazis. And also, I guess some families sued them because they said that that the whole marketing agenda for Slayer was to get people to kill people. And like one of their I guess their daughter got killed by people who were like Satan worshipers that killed their daughter like really brutally, and they said that they had been listening to Slayer. But I think that's more of a coincidence than it is what inspired them, because people are going to be fucktards no matter what, right? You can't just like ascribe all bad behavior to music and or video games and violent television, because here's the thing. Go to Japan and watch their cartoons. Their cartoons are violent as fuck. Mm-hmm. And they show them to like 4-year-olds. Like 4-year-olds are watching people get stabbed in the head with chainsaws. And guess what? They have no crime in Japan. Like, well, comparatively to us, they have zero crime. So I don't think it's the music. I think it's some more deep-rooted cultural things. But anyway, that's me. Slayer, Cult.
Yeah.
Dreadwind, go.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. The whole thing of saying it's music's fault is just passing off the responsibility to something else, rather than taking the responsibility of your own actions. You're just looking for
scapegoat,
something else to blame, and it's pathetic. Yeah, I'm with you.
All right.
So yeah, Slayer, Cult, killer intro riff, killer rhythm riff, heavy as fuck.
Hell yeah.
The drummer is all over the double bass and parts of it. I mean, like almost at one point I thought they were maybe using a drum machine. He was so fast with the double bass. Wow. There's a riff that's sped up in it. They kind of lost me when they went too fast with the riffs, because I was really grooving with that real heavy riff, and then it sped up when you start singing, and I kind of wish they would have just kept that groovy riff going instead for the verse. I thought that riff just kills, really awesome.
Yeah, I agree.
The first solo is amazing.
Told you,
it's the first guitar
great,
solo.
Isn't it? Yeah,
absolutely. The second solo is not bad, but it's a little more, I guess,
difficult.
Just noise wanking. Yeah, just kind of making noises as opposed to actually playing notes. I'm not sure which player did which solo, but if I had to guess, I would guess Jeff probably did the first solo.
Guarantee you that's how it went.
And the second solo was Kerry King.
Yep, I would almost positive that.
Yeah, and I've always preferred Jeff's solos.
Me too.
I find he's a much better solo guitar player. There was a third solo at the end that was really short, but really the first two are the ones worth mentioning. I liked it for the most part. I just, like I said, I kind of wish they would have not sped up that, full speed ahead riff. I think if they would have left that out and just stuck with that groovy rhythm, it would have been so killer. Um, a 7.5 for me.
All right, I gave it an 8.5. I don't know if I said that, but I'm saying.
Yeah, yeah, you did. Yeah.
All right, our next band is Fintroll from Helsinki, Finland, 1997. This is from their album something. Nat Fod. I don't fucking know. It's NATTFO with an umlaut DD. 2004. The
Yeah.
song was called Skalg. And right off the rip, you can tell that this is a folk metal song, like instantly, because of the backing vocals and the underlying melody. There's actually
Was
a pretty good.
Was that a kazoo?
I think it might have been, yeah. Think it might have been. There's a pretty good balance between the low tone guitars and the symphonic keyboards. Like that's my main complaint about well, not my main complaint, but one of my complaints about power metal. Sometimes they just go way overboard with the symphonic keyboards, but this they kind of kept it down a little bit. The vocals are indecipherable. I mean, even if he wasn't speaking in Finnish, there's no way I'd fucking know what the fuck he's talking about. Parts of the song remind me of like the old school NES games like Castlevania. Obviously not in 8-bit, but like just the melodies of it just remind me of something like from one of those old school games. Anyway, Fintroll's lyrics mainly deal with legends and tales revolving around the fictional troll king Rivfitter and the trolls fighting against the Christians who invaded their lands to spread their beliefs. And that's that's art imitating life there, because the Christians basically came in and just like annihilated Viking culture. So there you go. And the title, which I looked this up because I had to know, it means forest. And anyway, Fintroll Skalg, that's all I have on it. I give it a 7.0 Dreadwood.
Yeah, I had no idea what he was saying, and at one point I looked up, what was it, like Voskog or something like that was part of the thing. I had to look it up, and it was forest is what it translates to,
right?
And then I'm assuming the other part was troll or something to do with the troll. Yeah, it's got a cool intro, heavy use of keyboards, initially at least, but then as the song goes on, like you said, it's a pretty good balance. But like that, the first 30 seconds or so, there's a stop where it's just keyboards and I think a kazoo. That was really jarring,
or that might be
vocals
like,
to me,
that might be like some Scandinavian instrument that we're not aware of too, but it definitely sounds like a kazoo, that's for sure.
Yeah. The vocals to me always remind me of Hypocrisy, the way he sings.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, it's the song kind of felt a bit repetitive to me, and nothing really jumped out at you, and then not understanding anything that it's about. I don't know. I mean, I guess I can't say that that's a knock, because I listen to songs that are in different languages that I don't know what the hell they're talking about, and I still like them.
Right.
So that shouldn't have any effect on it. So I don't know what the deal was with this one, but it just did not really do anything for me. I gave it a 6.5.
All right. Shit.
Yeah.
All right. We're very symbiotic on that one. Anyway, next song is another song by Pantera, and they're still from Arlington, Texas, 1981. And this is another one off of Vulgar Display of Power. Again, an album that everybody should own it. All right, probably one of the biggest heavy metal anthems ever. Walk. I mean, who hasn't heard the song Walk? And as soon as you hear that opening riff, that you know exactly what's going to fucking happen, right? Yep. And then the bass builds like that to like a crescendo. Amazing lyrics, very angry delivery on all fronts. I mean, I'm talking about all the instruments plus Phil's vocals.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of their live staples. They play it every time they play live, because if they didn't, they would get rioted on, I'm sure.
Yeah.
The main hook sounds like a hateful pendulum. It just sounds like a pendulum going back and forth with like hateful guitar playing. That respect part, that's a great crowd participation part. And I've actually participated in that, which is great. And so I want to say one thing about Pantera. I can still remember exactly where I was in the exact circumstances when I heard about Dimebag Darrell's death. And I don't know if I said
Yeah,
this.
me too. Actually, I heard it I was driving my car, well, my truck, and I was actually living in New York at the time, and I had heard it on the radio, and I was like, "What? Are you
Yeah, right.
kidding me?" Yeah.
I was in disbelief myself. But I don't know if I said this before, but my tattoo artist uh, was there at that show because it was in Columbus. I'm not sure if you're not aware of that, but my tattoo artist was in that at that show, and she was part of security. She wasn't like on
Wow.
the part that like failed, but she was security for that show. So definitely, she has some pretty distinct remembrances of that too. And anyway, I give the song a 10 because it's brilliant and it's like a staple song. Good one.
Yeah, the opening riff on that is just it's iconic. It's
Exactly right.
legendary. It's like you said, it's one of those where within the first 3 seconds you know what it is.
Right, right.
Um, the whole song just grooves, and the like you said, the respect crowd participation part is awesome. That's exactly what I wrote. Um, unfortunately, I've never gotten to see Pantera play live. The closest I came was that time at Ozfest when, of all bands, Disturbed was playing, but Dimebag and Vinny came out to jam with them, and they jammed on. This was one of the 2 songs that they jammed on, so I at least got to hear Dimebag play "Walk" live. So that was pretty cool. Um, his solo is just insane. It's good. I mean, it's
He's a
insanely
good.
good. It's so good. It's insanely good. Um, and it's kind of weird that it followed the previous song because I wrote that the Fintroll song it felt repetitive, and honestly, Walk doesn't have a lot of change up in it. It's
Nope.
fairly repetitive, but it doesn't feel that way.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't at all. You're
It,
right.
it doesn't feel repetitive to you, even though there's like no change up to it. So it's weird how a band can do that with a song sometimes, and it's just you just get that right mix of vocals and riffs and the whole mix together that
You know, it's a
it
good.
just works.
You know, it's a good example of that is self-titled Black Sabbath.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right.
Yeah, go ahead.
Absolutely. I gave it a 10 too because
it's got a flanger on it. Go ahead.
it's yeah. Yeah. Okay. 10. Fucking 10.
A 10. All right. Okay, our next
Fucking 10.
a 10. All right, our next band. Wait a minute. I fucked this up because like normal I have this like kind of like format thing that I have, but I put like the bands down on my notes on. And normally I like put right underneath where the band was formed, and this time I did not, and I left it from last time. So Insufferum formed in New Orleans in 1988.
What?
Which I'm guessing is wrong. I'm guessing that's from last week.
That sounds like Crowbar. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like probably from last week. So I don't know where the fuck they were. Somewhere in Scandinavia, I'm sure. Anyway, this is the title track off their 2004 album, obviously Iron. Or Iron, or as like we chemists like to call it. It'll take you a second to get that one. I'll wait.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
All right. FE, that's the symbol for iron, so we call it fun. Never mind. Okay, so anyway, very power metal type opening. I mean, definitely, like as soon as it came on, it sounded like power metal. Very folk metal feel to the rest of it. The vocals, the melody, it's all kind of folk metal-y. Yep. One can almost picture Viking longships about ready to fuck up the coast of England when you listen to the song.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't know this, but their name Insufferum means sword bearing in Latin. Huh. And yeah, there's a lot of tempo changes. There's a great solo. There's even a part in there where like there's this like weird Norse war chant going on there. It's not like the regular vocalist. It's like it sounds like somebody else just doing a Norse war chant. But anyway, I give Insufferum Iron an 8.0. And if I'm not mistaken, on the special edition of that album, they have a Metallica cover.
Oh, cool.
I forget which song, but it's maybe Harvester of Sorrow, I think. Yeah, there you go. Go ahead.
Not Harvester of Pho.
Harvester of Pho. Lay me to the grave. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, it's got that big kind of opening like you talked about, and a very folk metal sound. It sounds like something you'd hear at a Renaissance fair.
It does.
Um, it's got a galloping rhythm to it, and it's got a lot of change ups, especially that little acoustic part was kind of, it was cool. It fit with the song. But
Yeah, they do that a lot.
Yeah. The vocals on this one, these guys always remind me of Dark Tranquility,
Right.
his vocal style.
You know what else they're known for? Flangers.
I knew you were going to say that.
Have to.
Just waiting for it. They had some flangers on the background. No, I'm just kidding. But they had some background opera like vocal. I guess that's what you were talking about with the background vocals. Yeah, and kind of the whoa.
No. Even beyond that, there was a guy who did like this real low pitched, like it almost sounded like, I don't know, like a berserker, like out just like yelling.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
But they did also have the backup vocals too, like you say.
Yeah, they had the very kind of operatic background vocals and parts of it. Yeah.
That you love, Sabaton boy. Go ahead.
It's the Flanger song. No. It was okay. I don't know. I've heard better ones that I like. Well, I've heard songs from them that I like better. That's how I should say that. I gave this one a 7.0. It didn't suck or anything, but
God damn, you're shitting all over my list this week.
I am. I know.
All right. So moving on to a band called Soil.
And I just have to say, I was shocked to see this one on here from you.
Really? That's kind of weird. All right.
Yeah, I did not expect you to put this band on here.
Well, they got a 4-letter song name, so that's why they got on there. This is from their
band name is 4 letters too.
That's true.
It's kind of symbiotic there.
So this is from this is from their 2001 album Scars, and they're from Chicago, Illinois, 1997, and this song was called Halo. Soul was originally formed by 4 members of the death metal act Oppressor, Optimus Prime's favorite band, and they were joined by. I did not know that. And they were joined by the vocalist of another death metal act, Broken Hope, and there's kind of like their side project. I love the drum. I love the drum opening of this song. It's like I just love that. And the main riff is kind of unrelenting. I really like the vocals. Although when you watch the video, it's like hard to concentrate because the guy looks like he just stepped out of a L'Oreal commercial. Because he's got like such perfectly long hair and it's so flowing and stuff. The song is very energetic.
Maybe it's Maybelline.
It might. That's what I meant to say. Maybelline. Fuck. No, wait, I think Maybelline is makeup. I don't know. I'll have to ask somebody.
Maybe so. I don't know. It's one of those. Yeah.
Anyway, the song is very energetic. I actually heard the song first on like one of those heavy metal sampler CDs. It's okay. I give it a 7.0. Dreadful. What do you think?
Yeah, the drum intro is pretty cool, and it's one of those where you kind of recognize it right. If you've heard it before, you recognize it right away as soon as the drums kick in.
And it goes,
yeah, it's got a pretty cool guitar riff in it.
Yeah,
I remember this got a lot of radio airplay back in the day when it first came out in the early 2000s. It was kind of grouped in with that the early 2000s metal bands like Disturbed and Godsmack and stuff, and this got played on the radio quite a bit for a while, but then it kind of dropped off the face of the earth, and haven't heard it in probably 10 years or so. Which is good because that means it didn't get overplayed.
Right.
The one thing though that I've heard this song tons of times, but I never noticed until I listened to it last night. I guess because I finally had headphones on for the first time listening to it. But there's some sort of keyboard or something in the background. That it's very subtle, but I had to take my headphones off because I thought it wasn't on the song. I thought it was something in my house making noise. And then I realized it was on the song. And it totally doesn't need to be there. It's very distracting. And I never noticed it before. So I don't know what that was.
It was the ghost of Flanger.
Probably so. It's But overall, I mean, I like the song overall. It's not, it's not my favorite or anything, but it doesn't suck or anything either. I give it a 7.5.
I love your ringing endorsements. It doesn't suck.
It doesn't suck.
All right, moving on.
Doesn't suck ass water.
Moving on to something that does suck.
Ass water, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. The Adoru formed. This song is called Kill. And this band was formed in Budapest, Hungary in 2003, which I think this is our very first Hungarian band. This is off of their album Monologue from 2007. And here's my notes. They are called post-hardcore, which is to say that they sound a lot like... Yeah, post-hardcore. Which is to say that they sound a lot like hard rock and not so much like metal. The vocals sound like a less vast masculine version of Corey Taylor. There's too much tuning on the vocals. The main riff is boring. The drums have that little tripping effect to the drums that make it sound like a Linkin Park song. The chorus sucks, and a lot of the guitar work sounds like watered down Black Album. So I give this horrible song a 4.5. Dreadwind, what do you think?
Post-hardcore? What the fuck does that even mean?
No idea. Post-hardcore. Yes.
My God. All right, that's the stupidest thing I've heard all day. Okay.
Wait a minute. Did you hear my news story?
Yeah, I take that back. It's the second stupidest thing I've
Thank
heard all day.
Thank you.
Yeah, definitely more heavy rock sound, and this hardcore has no place in the description of this music whatsoever.
None. Hatebreed would take a giant shit on this song.
If Hatebreed would like scrape them off the bottom of their shoe.
Right.
If anything, this should be put on the soundtrack for the emo generation.
Yeah, right on.
It's just a generic theme song for every emo kid from the 2000s. Mm-hmm. It sounds like that. You remember when they had that big emo craze in the mid 2000s, and when what's that jackass guy was popular with the skateboarder dude, Bam.
Steve Vaughn.
What's his name? Bam. No,
Bam. Margarita.
Yeah, him and the band him that he kept promoting with the stupid heart pentacle crap shit thing that was all over the fucking place.
Oh yeah, I remember him.
Yeah, that's what they fucking sound like.
Tell us how you really feel.
Yeah. Did I mention ass water?
I think I said something about that. Yes, ass water.
About donkey balls.
pH balanced for crap.
Okay. I gave it a 4.5. And just for those of you who are wondering how my scoring system works, about the only way to get a lower score than a 4 or 4.5 for me is to be like fucking Limp Bizkit. Or to not even play guitars at all in your music. So like a 1 or 2 would be like fucking Kanye West.
No. So,
you know,
from what I understand, not playing guitars, I hear the new Linkin Park album has no guitars.
Well, yeah. My only positive note on this entire song was at least they're playing guitars.
Oh yeah, good point. But the song
that's the only reason they even got a 4.5. Otherwise, It would have been lower than that.
But the song name did have 4 letters. In my defense. All right, moving on. Something a little bit better, not all that much better, but a little bit better. The band Evil, and they were formed in Huddersfield, United Kingdom in 2004. And this is off of their album Five Serpents' Teeth, released in 2011. The song was called Cult, which they ripped off of Slayer. I don't know. They probably didn't. Cult's a pretty common term. But anyway, there's a
band called Cult.
Oh, yeah. I'm not a fan of those guys. The lead singer is just way too effeminate for me. Anyway, did they do that?
Yes.
Oh, she's gonna rise up. Yeah.
There you go.
You hear that? You hear that out of like every like.
You're a closet cult fan. Don't you admit it?
No. I'm just saying you hear that out of like every like rusted out pickup truck south of the Mason-Dixon with like a fucking back on the back window they have a Confederate flag and they're just playing that, and then next you know is gonna come something from Skinner. Anyway.
Yeah, even though the cult's from Britain.
Yeah, Britain, the South,
Britain.
Same thing.
Colonials.
Yeah, right on. They're the same thing, essentially. All right. So anyway, if you look at this band's background, like they have the good pedigree, like they have all the correct thrash metal background. They even they love thrash metal, they love death metal. So you think, oh my god, great, these guys are gonna sound good. And no, they don't really sound all that good. In fact, their lead guitarist, whose name is apparently O.L., paid tribute to Chuck Schuldiner by covering Death's Voice of the Soul, which I don't know if I'd even want to hear that. But anyway, the music is pretty good, but the vocals leave a lot to be desired. Although I did think I thought I saw a 7-string guitar in this video. And,
I think you thought you saw?
Yep, I think I thought I saw a 7-string guitar, and
this was one they had 2 flying V's in it.
No, they had 1 flying V, and then I think a 7-string guitar with like horns on the top. Did you watch the same thing I did, tough guy?
Yeah, no, it's one of the BC Rich flying V's, and it's got all the like the flamey looking things. It's still a flying V, but it's like got the flamey cutouts to look like a flame.
Like a flanger. All right. Anyway,
yeah, like the flamey flanger.
I also said that the breakdown is kind of lacking. This doesn't grab you like a hook is supposed to. So I give Cult by Evil a 6.5. Dreadwin, what did you think?
Damn. That's wrong, because
No.
I actually like this one. That's like he redeemed himself at the end a little bit.
What do you mean at the end? I fucking had Walk in there, you fucker.
Yeah, I thought the intro was pretty cool. I thought the rhythm was pretty good. The vocals sounds a lot like James Hetfield from like, I guess, Black Era a little bit. Mm-hmm. I thought the solo was good. The whole song itself kind of reminded me of Metallica from maybe Justice for All, or I mean, not quite as technical, but that a little bit of Justice, a little bit of Black Album, Metallica kind of mix. They had a cool guitar harmony towards the end that I liked. I thought the fade out was a bit too long, because it started fading and there was still like a minute left.
Maybe a little too early.
Really long fade. It's like, well, just go ahead and keep playing and then wait until there's about 20 seconds left and then fade out. But I don't know. I liked it. I thought it was pretty good overall. I gave it like an 8.0.
Damn, that's wrong.
Yeah.
All right. So anyway, that wraps up our covering of heavy metal as a 4-letter word. Metal songs that have 4 letters in their name, and that's the thing. It's hard for me to come up with like themes anymore. Maybe I should go to the public and say, hey, give me some themes, and see if we can't come up with some good stuff out of that. So there you go.
So.
Maybe we'll do like an all. We've already done New Wave of British heavy metal. Fuck. I don't know. Anyway, there you go. That's our covering of the songs. Now we're going to go to heavy metal concert stories, and I'll go first because I'm awesome. And my concert story has to do with a Rob Zombie show, and this is probably like one of the most embarrassing things ever I've had to admit to for being a metalhead. I was at a Rob Zombie show, and I went ahead and wore jeans and a black t-shirt, and I believe the show was in August. Okay, now this particular day, this August day, the temperature was 103 degrees, which to a southerner you're like, that's a breezy May day, right? But like for somebody who lives where like snow happens, that's pretty fucking hot, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, I had to leave for my own health, right? Because I was going to die of overheating, heat exhaustion, and dehydration. So about probably, and it must have been a multiple show because I remember it kind of vaguely. but I remember that it was still light outside when Rob Zombie was playing. So I don't know who came up after him, but I don't think it was anybody worth noting anyway. But anyway, I had to leave, and when I got home, I looked in the mirror, and my eyes were just like all the whites of my eyes were just like red. So
Wow.
yeah, not a good time at all. And when I was leaving, I could hear Rob trying to get the crowd into it. I was like, yeah, fuck, this is embarrassing. So yes, I had to leave a Rob Zombie concert one time for my own health. That's my concert story for this week. What do you got for us?
Hydrate, man.
I know.
Hydrate.
I know.
Yeah. Yeah, I believe me, I know the feeling though. I've been to a couple Ozfests in Dallas in the summertime, so I totally understand with the heat thing. You know, you got to find some shade and just chill for a while sometimes. But let's see, concert story. God, I'm almost out of concert stories, man.
You'll have to come up with a new feature too. 'Cause I'm out of concert stories too.
Maybe so. I remember the one Lollapalooza I went to. The only reason I went was to see Metallica when they were playing.
Enter the Mudman.
And Enter the who was he?
You never heard that?
No.
Oh, dude, Metallica has this live album called Enter Mudman, where they recorded it at the Lollapalooza show, one of the Lollapalooza shows, and it's an amazing live album.
I'll have to look that up.
I'll have to send you a copy of it because it's really good.
Okay. But yeah, this particular of course, at Lollapalooza they have like all kinds of freaking bands from all kinds of genres, and at one point, Waylon Jennings was on a bill.
Nice.
And he came out. Actually, James came out to introduce him, which was pretty cool. James Hetfield came out and talked to the crowd for a minute and was like, "Hey, give it up for this guy. He's a big influence to me," and blah blah blah. And then Waylon Jennings come out, and so that was pretty cool. And I think James is the reason Waylon Jennings was on the bill. To be honest with you.
Yeah, it doesn't shock me.
And he came on. He was good. He played the Good Old Boys, from Dukes of Hazzard.
Yeah, never meaning no harm.
Then, yep. And then later on, trying to think who else was there. I think Rage Against the Machine played later.
Red Hot Chili Peppers, probably.
No, they weren't there. I know it was Rage.
Clutch.
Soundgarden. I know Soundgarden was there because it was the last tour before they broke up. And they had mentioned somewhere is that the only reason they even did the tour was so that they could tour with Metallica.
Well, that's cool.
And then Metallica played. And all I remember was at some point when I think maybe Rage was on the stage at the time. But anyway, Rage was on the stage. When they were on at the time, there was in front of us, probably we were kind of off to the side a little bit, but in front toward off to the left from where we were was some chick that got up on her boyfriend's shoulders for as they do.
Mm-hmm.
And I distinctly remember her jeans, like the waistline was so low that of course when she got up to sit, you could see half of her ass. And I remember she was wearing this red Victoria's Secret thong.
Nice.
Because you could clearly see Victoria's Secret on it. So we referred to her as the Victoria's Secret girl because she was every now and then she'd block our view. And we'd be
wait a minute. Let me ask you this. Were the Ramones there?
No, I don't think so.
What about Rancid? Were they there?
I don't think so.
What about Cheap Trick?
I don't think so.
Because I'm reading the 1996 one that had Metallica, Soundgarden, Ramones, Rancid, Waylon Jennings, Violent Femmes.
Well, maybe they were, and I didn't give a shit enough to see them. So I don't remember. Although I would have remembered the Ramones because I like the Ramones.
Me too.
I would have remembered them. So maybe they might not have been on that particular show.
That's probably true.
Because I know some of the lineup rotates depending on what part of the tour it is.
Tour length, right. They also had the Wu-Tang play on that.
Yeah, and I think they were there, and I didn't. I think Ministry was there. Come to think of it, I think they were on the side stage, if I remember right.
I know you're a big Wu-Tang fan.
Oh yeah, love them.
So anyway, your story basically was the chick had awesome.
Yeah, the Victoria's Secret girl, because that's what we called her. Because she would block her view every now and then. We'd be like, "All right, Victoria's Secret, get the fuck down so we can see."
Nice. All right.
We've seen your ass. Get down.
Yeah, I mean, once you've seen it, right? All right.
Right. Yeah.
All right. So that wraps up our concert stories. That wraps up this episode number 31 of fucking Hangar 18. And as always, stay metal and be nice to each other. Don't text and drive. That's my sign off, Dreadwind.
Stay metal. We'll catch y'all next week. And happy Cinco de Mayo.
Right. And
for fuck's sake, don't call it Revenge of the 5th. It's Revenge of the 6th.
All right. Tell us how you really feel. But anyway, hey, also I forgot to do one last thing, which is Dreadwind's favorite thing. If you guys are in Columbus later today, you can catch me at the Laughing Ogre comic book store for a cosplay contest. And tomorrow for Free Comic Book Day, you can catch me at the Out of This World Festival at Starbase Columbus. You can catch me at the Pockerington Public Library for a cosplay meetup. And you can catch me at Comic Town on Morse Road for the last free comic book day that they're going to have at that location. So
wow.
There you go.
Busy
packed
schedule.
Packed weekend for me. All right, man. Stay metal. We're out.
Okay.
What? Go ahead.
I was just going to say I've started work on my own super secret project of awesomeness.
I saw that. It's going to be great.
It's going to be awesome. And yeah, we got it's going to be a while before we have a convention over here though. But we did have a X-Wing miniatures event last night at one of the local comic shops that they had a little special going on for May the 4th and everything with Star Wars. So that's kind of cool.
Sweet. All right, we're out.
All right.
Stay metal.